All right. Well, good morning again, everyone, and welcome to our second step of our process of getting a strong start with Novatech. Today is, or this session is about establishing a limited liability corporation. And for many of us, we have various reasons why we might be doing that, but one is to meet the requirements of the company. As you know, if you are part of one of the 6 states that require LLCs, then you will want to be leaning in on this process. So just to review where we've been, we've completed our step 1, securing your new email with Proton Mail. And we are now on, oops, this is the wrong graphic, but this set up a limited liability corporation. Actually, we've moved up to step number 2, because we want to be establishing this well before we get enrolled in Novatech. In fact, I can, there it is. Here it is, step number 2 of establishing the LLC for the states of residents in Hawaii, Texas, Alaska, Montana, California, and South Carolina. Those are 6 states, again, that will require you to have an LLC. California is in pending right now, and so we are just assuming that it will be enacted that you will need to have an LLC. But this does not mean that just because you live outside of these 6 states that you don't need one, or you might not want one. Trust me, at the end of hearing information about the benefits of an LLC, you will want to get one, especially if you're still working and you have W-2 income. It may be a great way for you to offset that income when you do your taxes, if you're working with a professional who knows how to do that. All right, so with that said, welcome to our class. I am going to walk you through the options that you have and share with you options that are at 2 different price points, and then we'll go in from there. Okay, so first of all, the 2 states that we recommend you consider is Wyoming, and the other one is Nevada. And I'm going to begin with the Nevada option first. And we have someone that is part of our team, actually, who's funded with us. And I think that's important because you'd like to know that this person knows Novatech from the inside out and understands how the process works. So his name is Darren Nixon. He's put together a couple of webinars on taxes and on LLCs. And if you want a copy of that recording, it's in our Telegram channel for our investors. You can find the links there. Otherwise, please mention and we'll be sure to repost that so that you can find it quickly. So I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to take you over to a couple of PDFs. This is the first one. And again, these documents are also in our Telegram channel and you are able to access them at any time. I can certainly post them. Perhaps there's someone on the call who could grab those documents and put it right here in the chat of the Zoom. All right, so Nevada LLC fact sheet. This is provided by Darren Nixon with Blueprint Consulting. He notes here there are no double taxation. If you form a Nevada LLC, you avoid the double taxation that is usually imposed upon a Nevada corporation, since it is a pass-through entity. So he lists other things as the state having no personal income tax, strong liability protection laws. That's typically why someone will want an LLC, to create a layer of protection between their customers and them as the owner of the business. Nevada business courts, this is unique to the state of Nevada, and that's why some people love this. It's known for its business-friendly decisions and favor Nevada LLCs. No info sharing agreement with the IRS. This is something that goes back to the mob days, apparently. And so in Nevada, they do not share information about your LLC with the IRS, which is a unique situation for the state of Nevada. If that's important to you, that might be the reason why you choose Nevada. There are other benefits of using this consulting firm. I do want to say that this firm does turn your EIN number, your employer identification number, over in 24 hours, excluding weekends and holidays. That's one of the biggest reasons. But secondly, they are a consulting firm. They're real people that you can talk to and meet by phone or by Zoom and get to know them and to decide whether or not you'd like to use them. They're there to answer questions. They will be holding webinars for Novatech investors in the future. And also they're available to do your taxes, help you with insurance and other financial products, right? So I find that very attractive because it's nice to know that you have a name and a face to return to. Nevada LLC with this company will require the following fees, okay? So in the state of Nevada, you have a $150 filing fee. That is whether you did it on yourself by yourself or you employed them to do it, you still will pay this initial $150. All right, next is a $200 Nevada registration license. And this is a requirement unique to the state of Nevada. There are many other states that do not require you to have a business license, but Nevada is one of them. Hence, you're now in at $350. And then the Secretary of State charges $75 to file. All right, so you're now at $350, right? $425 to form your LLC. Even if you didn't use Blueprint, this is what you would be paying. All right, because you can certainly do it yourself, by the way, if you go on and teach yourself how to do it. Now there is a yearly renewal fee that you need to be aware of the $350. That includes the $150 filing fee, which you already paid, and the business license renewal. So be aware that that is what will be coming up. Now, as far as how Blueprint Consulting gets paid for doing this service, I'm going to drop down to the second page here. And what he does is charge a $75 per year fee. Normally, for his regular clients to set up an LLC, it's $275, but he realizes for Novatech investors, we want to put as much of our money into our fund and not be paying for these services, and hence why he has created this discounted service. What that includes is your registered agent service. Because you don't live in Nevada, you need someone to represent you and to have a business address in Nevada. Well, that's what their Blueprint provides you. You're going to be able to use that address of his establishment. He will prepare your EIN. That means, again, your employer identification number. That is the key thing that you need to have a Novatech account with if you live in one of those other states. All right, you're going to replace your social security number and put in your EIN number if you are someone who's already funded and you're going to be upgrading to a LLC. All right, so he will get that number for you in 24 hours. It will require all the preparation, and that's what's included, a consultation as well. And he gives you a dedicated client portal where you can come in and check the progress of your application. Okay, I think that for $75 a year, that's a great bundle of services. So what does it ultimately cost? It's $500 one-time payment, option number one. And this will include your payment to the Nevada Secretary of State and Blueprint Consulting. He'll get that done in 24 hours. I'm going to show you the application shortly. Next is option two. If you would prefer to pay $50 now to get your EIN number and get started with Novatech immediately, you could go ahead and pay him that, fill out the application, and he will get you the number you need to fill out your Novatech paperwork. Now, in 45 days, the expectation is that you're going to complete the process. You'll pay him an additional $500 to complete the LLC process. That means the from start to finish. All right, so the 500, so you're paying $50 extra for this payment plan, which may assist you in spreading out this expense from the beginning. All right, this document again is available in your Telegram channel. Okay, now let me take a quick tour of the application that he has. You might be thinking, oh, this is going to be a long drawn out process, but you'll be delighted when you see this is just 2 pages here, simply identifying what you would like to call your limited liability corporation. And he's filled out consulting right here. Each partner, we will need how many partners? Now, if you want to include a spouse or a child or a business partner, you can certainly do so. But I do want to clarify something very important. With Novatech, you can only have one account. You cannot have a personal account with your social security number and then have another account under an EIN number with your business name. No, you have to choose. You're either personal or your business. Okay. And nor could you share an EIN number with a spouse. So, say a husband and wife had a business, they have an LLC, they have one EIN number. That EIN number can only be used for one of them. All right. So, the other spouse will also need to establish an LLC to have an investment with Novatech. But nonetheless, if you choose to have a partner, you can enter their information here. And then your business address, obviously, is going to be the Nevada address. So you don't have to give them your business address. That's going to be theirs. And if you would like to put in your phone number where you'd like to be contacted, that's perfectly fine. If it's from one of the states that Novatech doesn't do business in. This application has nothing to do with Novatech, as you know. It's the establishment of your business. So when he asks you for your particular information, like your address here, you will put your residential address, even if you're in Hawaii, Alaska, South Carolina, California, Montana, and so forth, okay? You will need to give them your social security number because you are the responsible party of this new LLC, and then your email address, hence why we just covered your Proton mail. You're going to put that there. All right, you're going to email this form into Darren, and then within 24 hours, he will turn around. Oh, and of course with payment, and he will allow you to make payment through a secure link that he will email to you once he receives your application, right? And again, this avoids weekends and holidays, right? So that's it. That's the process with the Nevada Corporation. All right, so that is easy peasy. Before I move on to the Wyoming, what questions do you have about the Nevada option and the gentleman that we are recommending? Okay, you just interrupt me if you would like to ask a question in a minute. I'm going to take you now to, okay, I'm already sharing, so I'm going to take you over to my Google Chrome because I've typed into the chat up top here wyomingagents.com. Please write that down. This is your second option. There are many options, by the way. This is just the one that we have experienced multiple people using. And Wyoming has been known now for the crypto capital of our country. They want to be known to be the most crypto friendly government and state. And so therefore, these processes are very simple. There are others that are cheaper than this one if you want to try those. If you do, please let us know because we're always assembling more resources. And again, this one you'll see is half the cost of the Nevada LLC. All right, so here we go. With this company, what I love about it is that when you call their 1-800 number, they pick up the phone and you talk to a human being who can help you through the process. I'm going to scroll down through the home page, and they explain what a registered agent is because that's basically you're going to be paying $25 for them to represent you, to use their address, to receive any mail that might be coming to your business address. So it goes into the detail of why you would need a registered agent, which is great education, and how they have mail forwarding services as an option. You do not need that, but they do have that there as well. And so on. All right. So when you get to this bottom of the home page, you're going to choose form a company, for $150. Now, as I mentioned before, Wyoming is not like Nevada. You don't have to have a business license. So this is the base fee that you're going to pay. Notice that as you fill out, I'm going to walk you through the form and just share with you some of the common questions that I get in the process. You're going to put in 2 company names, your first choice here and your second choice. That's just to help save time in case the one that you asked for is already taken. All right, I had in the early days someone choose Aloha LLC. Well, then this was back in using Florida, and Aloha LLC was already taken. So then they had to write to him, say, "What's your second choice?" By then, 2 weeks had passed by the time they went back and forth. You see, so you don't want that to delay you. Already have an alternative company name established there. All right. You are selecting here. The entity is an LLC. Know that there are other things such as a series LLC, which allows you to have multiple LLCs, and you have one overarching umbrella to cover all your LLCs. That is something that I believe this company can help you do, but I do recommend that you seek counsel from a tax advisor and see how you can set up your LLCs to be in an efficient manner. All right. Next. But I'm speaking to all of you who are setting up the general LLC. Next, is the member managed or the manager managed? Now, in this case, because there's only one person per EIN number for Novatech, you are both the member and the manager. Okay, so you can choose member managed and or manager managed. Either way, you're going to be submitting the same information, your name first and last, and your contact information. All right. Now, if you opt to add spouses and children, other people to your business, you can. But as I mentioned earlier, it is not necessary for this LLC to have family members and other members, because they won't be able to use this LLC for their own personal Novatech accounts. Right. And all right. So fill in this information, your phone number, and then no is the answer to notify your attorney of a lawsuit. You are, I don't think that's relevant in our case here. Your mailing address, everyone, is your residential address. Okay. You know the reason why you're doing this is to get a Wyoming address, but this is the application for your LLC, hence why you would use your mailing address in Hawaii or Alaska or Texas or wherever you live. It's okay, all right, to do that in this case. Account setup, email, very important. They communicate a lot with you on the process and progress of your application. I recommend that you use your email, your new email account that we just covered in first step with Proton Mail, right? And make sure that you have your notifications turned on and that you have the app, because then you can be out at the grocery store and getting a notification. They'll let you know if there is a problem with your application. They communicate very well and are quite efficient. So again, but if you don't check your email, then you're not going to know that there is a problem with your application. So please have that accessible and be checking regularly. You're going to choose a password and confirm that password. Do know that I'm going to take you on to show you what that site looks like, because they're going to have a client portal which is password protected, so you can see the process and progress of your application. Very important. Notice again, another password to remember. You want to have a password keeper booklet, or I recommend LastPass as an app that you can use it's a vault for all of your passwords. Highly recommend that if you are someone who has trouble with your remembering your username and passwords. All right, now moving down, here is another element I want to answer a question about. Let's see, so you can click on have your mail sent to Wyoming. Okay, if you want to pay for these services here. Otherwise, it will be sent to your mailing address. Phone service, it automatically defaulted to turning on the phone service. This is free for, let's see, 90 days, I believe, or free for 60 days. But after that, it's just $9 monthly. People, you do not need a phone number. No one will be calling you from from Novatech. And so I would opt out of the phone service. Now, if you already are someone who established your LLC with Wyoming agents and you had clicked it on, in 60 days, you're going to get a notification saying that you owe them money, right? And then it might be alarming, like, oh my goodness, something I have to subscribe to. You do not need that. So go ahead and just save yourself that by unclicking it. Now this one here, annual report compliance, click on the question mark to understand a little bit more. At the end of the year, you will need to submit an annual report. And so you can opt for them to do it, or you could do it yourself. And then 60 days prior, they're going to be notifying you of this step. And you can keep that on there. They will automatically assume they're going to be doing this work for you and bill your credit card. Of course, they'll communicate with you as they're preparing for that. Or you can opt out, and you know that at the end of their 12-month period that you will be responsible for filing that annual report. Okay, so that's up to you if you'd like to click it on or off. I'm sure after 1 year you could opt out of that if you choose that you want to do it on your own. All right, next is the EIN option. This is very important because after you form the LLC, you need to then file that new LLC with the IRS. All right, and so you want to click on this, especially if you don't know how to do this. It is free if you go to the Wyoming, I believe the Secretary of State, it'll walk you through uh, uh, listing your newly formed LLC, all that documents that Wyoming agents created for you. They will teach you how to do that at no charge. But if you're not really savvy that way and you're not sure, I would pay the $75 and have this company, Wyoming Agents, file it for you. All right. And you do, of course, need to give them your social security number to complete that task. All right. Now, so I would keep this box checked. It's be an additional $75. So then you put in your billing information right here that matches your credit card. And notice here is the summary of the cost. $25 for the agent services, $125 for the formation of your LLC. Then you'll pay $75 for your tax ID. Now, if you are going to pay by credit card, you can certainly do so here, and you're going to submit your order. What you're going to do upon submission is immediately go over to your Proton Mail, open it up, and you'll receive a confirmation of your application, and they will give you a link that will take you to another website, right? So I'm going to pop over to my movie here. I presume you can all see this. And let me optimize my sound. I was helping Tiare do an LLC, so I'm going to play a little short clip of this so that you can see what happened to Tiare after she completed her application. All right, so take a peek here. I've shared my screen. We're going to pop over to the movie, and I'm going to push play here, play. And the 125 for the state filing for a total of 150. And she's going to submit this order. Now, many of you have heard that we are also going to be adding $75 afterwards for the submission of when she was filling out this application back then, that button was not in the application, so she had to go back and add the $75 service later. So anyway, that's why to get the EIN number with the state of Wyoming. So go ahead and submit that order. Fast forward this a little bit. So I did as the member in that section as the owner, and she could have. Okay, here it is. And she could have left the manager one blank, but I back up. Should have had the timestamp ready for you. But anyway, what we're waiting for on this screen for a total of 150, and she's going to submit this order. Now, many of you have heard that we are Stage Line is the next website that you're going to be going. Now, I did notice in my notes here, everybody, that there was a tip here that said that you didn't enter your name in as Tiare did as the member in that. Thanks for your patience while I cue this up. LLC. Now, it currently says you have one phone that have not been configured. Select next to configure phones. They give you a phone number in Wyoming. Actually, they're going to give you an opportunity to choose. So you can choose remind me later or next. It's a small detail because you're not expecting phone calls at this business, but here it is. Okay, good. So here we are, everybody. We are now at a website called Stage Line. This is where she's going to be filling out more of her applications. And in Proton Mail, she likely received an email also confirming that she made that purchase. All right, so we're going to go ahead and continue. So you notice that your name here was taken, the very first one. So we'll do that, continue. Okay. And we're starting the business in Wyoming. This is the company's home state, not her residence, right, everybody? This is the state that she's choosing to have her LLC established in, okay? Right. Okay. Okay, so I just wanted to show you that snapshot of stage line. Last weekend, we didn't have a photograph of that, but that is where you're going to find the forms that need to be filled out. It is much more complex than the blueprint consulting because you're filling in all the details of the formation application. So just know that there is a separate website portal that you're going to be invited to. That is where it's going to tell you what forms are needing attention. It was up at the very top. And so you can click on that at any time and it'll show you, they'll take you directly to the form that is incomplete and or if there was wrong information. So you're going to walk through those steps and submit it, and then it'll tell you that you're complete and you just wait. All right, so this can take up to 10 days with Wyoming agents. I've noticed that it's actually shorter. It can be anywhere from 2 to 4 days for the first step of the formation of the LLC, and then another 4 days for the filing of it to get you the EIN number. I'm going to share my screen now and show you what it looks like when you have received your paperwork from the company, all right? Oh, by the way, here's a snapshot of what a status report will look like. Here's Tiare waiting for her 2 days to form her company and another 4 days to get her EIN number, and then the status report. Again, this is on stage line. Then here, you notice that she had her LLC established and now she's waiting for her 4 days. So it'll count you down and you can walk through the steps. This is an example of a document that you will get when you are successful at establishing your LLC. Notice in this first paragraph, they have assigned her this particular number for her employer identification number, which is the number she needs to establish her relationship with Novatech. All right. Notice also on the paperwork, she has her Hawaii address here, right? That's how they communicate directly with her here. And then if we scroll through that document, you're going to notice that she has the Wyoming agent's address for her business, right? So when she's ready for her next step to sign up for Novatech, she's not using her Hawaii address. She's using the Wyoming agent's address, her registered agent. All right, so there you have 2 options today that I've presented. One with Darren Nixon at Blueprint. And again, if you need the contact information or those documents, I think what I'll do is I'll repost them in Telegram so it's right up at the top of the Telegram channel. And also the link to the Wyoming agents if you would like to go directly there. All right, I'm going to open it up for questions or feedback on those of you who've been through this process. Please share.
Ramey, I just 3 things I just wanted to cover. One, especially with the Wyoming, and you're right, they want to be the Silicon Valley of crypto. But what's really important about that, in the contact information, do not use a post office box. You stated that they should put their address, but that can become a big problem. That's an experience that Pam had. Put your address in the contact information. And it's very important. Address. Yes, yeah, where you live, your brick and mortar home.
Yes.
Number 2, since I'm a California boy and you made the statement that everything is pending, I would advise everybody that's signing somebody up in California, now we're on the down low. You said it was pending and we know it has. They have not been served. I would first sign up somebody from California just like you'd sign up anybody else. All that could happen is it's not pending anymore. That way, you save the cost of getting an LLC. Although I advise everybody to get an LLC. And then number three, Ramey, is that people should Google LLCs to really understand what the benefits of having a limited liability corporation is. Because if they're going to become an affiliate and they're going to build, it's very important that you do it in a way that you protect yourself, you protect your business, and everything can go smoothly.
Yes, yes, absolutely. And I would interview several different tax consultants if you don't have one, and find out, if they're savvy with cryptocurrency or with investments like ours. We have referrals that we can give you outside of Darren Nixon, and so I'm going to make sure if maybe someone could, if they have access to our Telegram, go ahead and repost the two sessions that we held with Darren Nixon on the benefits of an LLC, and the tax preparation questions that we had. I will put in the documents for application for them, and also the Wyoming agents link. Yes, and direct in contact with Darren if you'd like to get his phone number.
Are you putting this in the investors channel?
Yes,
okay.
I'll put it in the investor channel.
Thank you, Raymond. Thank you.
So it'll be right up at the front of the feed, and then you can find it easily.
Thank you.
This is Tracy, Remy. Piggybacking off of what Chris said, so my husband and I set our Novatech accounts up with our personal information. But if we then set up separate LLCs for each of us, or if my husband already has an EIN number for a different business, there's multiple questions here. Can he use an existing EIN number that he already has and change it in Novatech from his social security number to his EIN number? And then the same question for me. If I set up one of these LLCs, then can I update my Novatech account to that EIN number?
Yes, absolutely. So what she's going to do is go in, take my profile, and take that social security number and insert the EIN number, add also the company name in there, and then likely you will get that two-factor authentication requirement to make sure you are the owner of this account and making these changes, and or you may need to submit a ticket to make that change. So, and you can also say he uses his existing EIN number, but later he's going to sign up for another LLC just specific for Novatech. He can swap out that EIN and change the business name.
Ramey, this is Chris again. You got it. But what's really important, if we remember when we were first starting, if you're going to get another EIN, get one and keep everything clean, because when you get when you're going to get your LLC, they're going to ask you what you do. You're an investor. I have a plumbing company. So to keep it clean, it's worth it to just have what you're actually doing, what your course of business is, rather than say you have Acme LLC that has nothing to do with investment. And I'm only talking to you about this because, Pam and I have experienced it. I think one of Pam's prospects, or one of her people that signed up, is listening today. I think her name is Cassandra. I don't know. That might be a different one, but I think it is.
Yes,
I'm out.
it's Cassandra.
Hey, Chris, I have a question for Chris. Remy, this is Eric,
Hi,
Tracy's husband. How are you? Chris, so what you're saying is that, let's say I have a business doing one thing, and then I have my Novatech investing doing something. I should have different LLCs for every business that I do. Did I understand that right, or am I just out there?
Well, I'm not a tax person. I play one on Winning Edge, but it would be cleaner if you, and that goes into series LLCs, if you keep everything clean, because at the end of the day, when you're going to try to lessen your tax liability at tax time, you have everything, your ducks are all lined up in a row. Whoever does your processing will have it, and everything is clean. It's worth the money. And I'll say one other thing. Remember, the idea of getting an LLC is all the benefits of how you lessen your taxes. So the money that you put in, if you're going to be an affiliate, you're going to write it off.
Got you.
because
Got you.
because
Okay.
you're gonna make a lot of money in Novatech. You know, you get in
Right.
or you fit in.
Correct. Got you. Okay. So and that's actually, I like that better because that keeps everything on, for lack of a better term, itemized or separate. So thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you very much.
So what I like about having options, if you have an LLC established and you're willing to use that EIN number for the initial sign up so that you're not letting a Friday pass you by, then you could do that and then change it later. Or like the proper way would be to establish an LLC just for Novatech, wait your 10 days or 24 hours, and then begin your Novatech account. I would love to also recommend setting up an appointment with Darren or a tax professional and walk through this, especially if you have multiple businesses. And then they can advise you as far as that series LLC, where you will have that umbrella over all of your businesses. Okay, very nice, very nice. We will continue to have webinars on the topic of taxes and LLCs, but we did get off to a great start, so I will be posting those again and you can take a listen to them and learn more about why this is such a powerful step for you. Okay, so there we have it.